the field of architectural planning, civil engineering, interior designing, and valuation. Sir has worked for many reputed organizations in and around Surat. As a valuer, Sir had been associated and empaneled with more than 29 financial institutes like public sector banks, private banks, and cooperative banks. Sir has served as the president at the Institute of Civil Engineers and Architects, Surat, and is also a founding member of IPA. Sir is also associated with Institute of Engineers India and Indian Council of Arbitration New Delhi, Indian Plumbing Association, Indian Green Building Council, Professional Valuers Association of India, to name a few. Now I would like to welcome Sir to deliver the expert lecture. Sir, please.
Thank you. Good morning. No, we are meeting for the first time after break, isn't it? Friends, I have a question for you. How many percentage of water in your body? 70, 75. Okay. How much surface area is covered with water of this globe? 70, 75. Okay. So what is the importance of water that you can understand? Isn't it? Your body cannot sustain without water. Isn't it? So friends, today I am superficially going on subject water under plumbing and sanitation, where how we can save the water by using efficient water instruments, where we can put an impact on socio-economic factors to the globe, because water is required for today and for tomorrow also, and we have to think today for water so that we can put our future better for our next generations. On behalf of IPA, I would like to thank you for inviting us here in this specific week of workshop, practice to research, research to practice. Now the subject itself says so many things. Practice to research and research to practice. And as I am introduced as a professional, but I would like to say I am one of you. I have studied my engineering in this very same campus. Practice to research and research to practice. Friends, I had an opportunity in way back in 1992 to research on built environment, and I have presented my paper on that particular Dutch, English and Armenian symmetry way back in 1992, and that research affected to convert that particular all the cemeteries in Surat to be restoration by the government and Archaeology Survey of India. So the subject that has been chosen is indeed a with great thought, and I salute for that for Dr. Dilip Patel to consider such kind of subject to the future generation. Water scarcity is one of the consideration. I asked one question: what is the water surface on this globe? And almost 70 to 75% is covered in surface, but still we are talking about the water scarcity. UN report also says about this in depth every year, and this is really facts and figures which has been considered by the UN, and this is a worrying alarm for the human being for the next generation, and we have to consider this thing at present, and we at IPA are taking care of partly or fully, and we have a mission to save 133 crore liters of water every year, and through you and through me we can achieve this target, and you can consider this one of the healthy practice in your life to consider professionally and personally both way. What is the source of water on earth? All are engineers and must have studied this thing. No answer. So everyone has answer or no one has answer?
Speak loudly. Rain, sir. Rain.
Great. The sources of water is being rain, surface sources and the ground sources. I am not covering this because our next speaker is supposed to tell in depth about this subject. These are the some of the elements where the sources of water on earth that we are having, and we are not using it properly at present, that we can consider. This is the natural water cycle, and everyone must have studied this in water resource. Now research to practice. Our ancestors were really wise, and they have made research about the water harvesting as well as water uses. These are some of the slides where the research they convert into the practice in different part of India. How they have harvested water and how they have reused this water in different way using plumbing and sanitation in real sense in the past. Today we have forgotten all these technologies and we are not using many of these technologies nowadays, but we at IPA are committed to reinstate this kind of technologies with proper consideration, and we are working on that. Every geographical area has their own research, and every geographical area has their own solution also. The area in northeast have some different way of research and some different way of practice, where in desert area it has some different kind of research and different kind of practice. Similarly, in plains also it has some different kind of research and different kind of practice also. Why save water? Can anyone answer this? We have 75% of the surface covered with water, but still we are talking save water. Why?
Because our drinking water is limited. So only 2% is fresh water.
Okay, then Yes, it is required because we have not used the mother nature properly, and the day by day the water condition that we do have has some kind of contamination which is not good for that 70% of our body that we all people are having. India has about 18% of the global population and just 4% of the world's fresh water, which we can use for industrial use, animal husbandry, agriculture, and domestic use that we people are using on every day now and then. This is the scenario which has recently considered by some of the experts globally about the water crisis in India. Well, everyone knows about the Chennai. There was no water in 2019. It is almost 21 cities in 2020. There was very poor condition about the water. In 2030, it is estimated that 40% of the Indians will have no access to drinking water. This is really alarming, and that is why we have to save water. And thereafter in 2040, well, it is estimated if we cannot think today, we will not have the drinking water for any human being, maybe after 2050. This is the report of World Resource Institute where it is considered that 54% of the India faces high to extremely high water stress and more than 100 million people lives in area of poor water quality. This is again alarming, and that is why we have to think save water. This is the condition in summer at many places, and you must have realized this thing from the news and media also, that this is the condition at many places in rural as well as in urban areas. And my answer is here: why to save water? Meet the growing needs and demand of water. It decreases the surface runoff, sunning of the flooding of roads, increase the underground water level, and decrease the groundwater pollution, decrease the corrosion of soil, and complete the domestic needs of the water. You can add some of more here also, because new practice in business always increase this particular list. The finest answer is save water. How you can save water? Simplest way: use less, save more. You can save water. How domestically you can save this water? Well, this is very simple, and at the end of this seminar today, we were supposed to circulate this booklet that we have already given. Okay, so these are the simple consideration where you and I have to follow on our everyday's life for our better future as far as water is concerned. As you have this, I am not going into the detail, or if you want to elaborate this, I can do it. Okay, let me ask few questions. How many of you take shower? How much time?
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
How much time? So only two people have answer for that, but I see the hand raise about 20 people. So they have neither calculated that how much time they spend for a shower. But now onwards you have to consider and calculate that, because you have to think about save water. If you take shower of 5 minutes only, in general, we are in such a city where we are considering the water is amply available. But if you can take shower, because why you are taking shower and how much time that requires to clean up your body, that matters a lot, and you can complete that within a 5 minutes. This is scientifically proven thing. So when a excess second is used in taking shower, that water is, rather I can say it is a water abuse. Water is abused and you are wasting that particular water by using every second more for that particular shower. And it is research by IPA says that if you take shower up to 5 minutes or less, you can save 70 liters of water per shower. So this is a huge thing. If you can consider this 50% taking shower 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes, then how much water we can save per day, considering one time shower in a day. 70 liters per person, 50%. Simple. You can count accordingly. I am going in detail in the later part. How many of you toothbrush twice a day? इनमें से कितने को आदत है नल खुला छोड़ने की? सबको. So you have to change your habit to save the water. गार्डनिंग किसके घर पे है? पानी कब डालते हैं आप? हाँ? पानी कब डालते हैं? Twice a week. In what time? नहीं, मेरे घर पे तो माली आता है और दोपहर में 12 बजे वो पानी डालता है. तो क्या ये सही है? No, this is not the right practice. Always water the garden or any of plant considering the time before 9 or after 4. Why it is so? Why it is so? Absolutely fine. So this is the smallest thing that everyone can do to save the water. This is very important. How to save the water, and plumbing and sanitation directly or indirectly come into the picture as far as these leakages are concerned. Consider 1 drop per second from one tap. How much water loss is there? Per day loss is about 4.3 liters. This is the research made by IPA, and now we have to make it in practice that we can save this much water through us. So at the end of the month we are wasting 130 liters by just 1 drop. But I can challenge you, even in our campus and in our hostel, not 1 drop, there will be 2 drops or 5 drops per second might be there. And consider that how much water is wasted in our campus also. I am a student of this college, so I know that how the leakage from any tap is there or was there. So research considering that if all this water is considered, then in one day, there are lot many water we can save, and theoretically we can measure it after proper auditing of all such taps and water bodies that we are using on our everyday. Once you carry your own water, you will learn the value of every drop. How many of you carry your own water? नल में से आता है, हमें क्या लाने का? That is why. And my next slide says everything about this. Need to explain this? Now, ways to save water through plumbing and sanitation. As far as plumbing is concerned, I am limiting myself here. Sensor taps we can use and we can reduce the water wastage. Push type taps, we can have limited time period of water and we can reduce the wastage. Aerator we can fix, and tap water saver kind of other, all kind of things are available in the market right now. Jal nahi to kal nahi, because 70% to 75% of our body contains water. अगर पानी नहीं होगा तो डिहाइड्रेशन होगा, और डिहाइड्रेशन से क्या हो सकता है? Though we are engineers, we can understand quite better. Our experience to installation of these low flow fixtures is successful because it can be used in existing as well as the new projects. It saves sustainable amount of water, it is cost effective, and it is easy to install. How many of you would like to do this thing? No one? Okay, one hand. Okay, two hand. आपको पानी बचाने की जरूरत नहीं है क्योंकि आपको अभी फ्री में मिल रहा है. Isn't it? But my last slide will inform you why I am emphasizes this thing today and considering for tomorrow. What is aerator? Can anyone tell me about the aerator? Okay. The aerator acts as a sieve, separating a single flow of water into many tiny streams which introduce the air into the water flow. Also, as there is a less space for the water to flow through and water flow is reduced, resulting in water saving. So, this is simple plumbing, but we are saving water. Again, a research says so many things and we have to put in practice. A typical wash basin tap has a flow of 8 to 10 liters per minute. With aerator, it will be 2.5 liters minute, minimum saving of 6 liter per minute. Kitchen sink can save 5 liters per meter, and sink can save about 150 liters per day as far as using by simple aerator. A simple small unit in plumbing installation, we can save this much water every day. This is a simple calculation. I am not going into the detail because it is more technical and it requires at least 1 hour to explain this thing. But in nutshell, I can tell this thing. Because using of this aerator, we have made a research, audit is also made by IPA, and we are working on that. wash basin, pillar tap, kitchen sink, overhead, and shower. Per day, considering 5 members family, we are saving yearly 57,305 liters. And if we consider for 5-person family, we are saving 1,04,025 liters of water. Now, what is the capacity of water tank in your campus if you are staying in your flat? If you are staying in a flat of 10-story building, what is the capacity of your water tank? You have never made that things. Okay, let me tell you about this thing. In general, if it is of 10-story building having 2 flats per floor, it is the 20 flats. Now you must have studied the water required is about 135 liters per day per person. Now you can calculate how much that is required. अरे भाई हम इसी कॉलेज के स्टूडेंट थे. Okay. Okay. 13,500. And at the end of the day, for yearly, how much we are saving? So consider how much water you people can save in your campus by using this simple, small, economic instrument in plumbing. So it is about 5-day water is almost free for you. 5 to 6-day water is almost free for you in this particular small units of 10-story, 2 dual in one apartment. Now this is not the only thing that we are saving. We are saving the pumping cost also. Our research says that for this much 1,04,025 liters of water to pump at overhead tank, cost saving is about 6,400 rupees. This is all research and we are putting in practice. Now think about this for the 80 families in the campus, then that goes too high. Now this is not only about the water, this is also about the carbon credit also. Now how much you people can understand or you can consider about the carbon credit? It is very important in present scenario because smart city